Hey, guys, I am here. You have the pleasure of sitting down with one of my very good friends, Jonathan Benarr, who is also the host of one of the Thaiger's latest productions, To Buy or Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Benarr, and this is To Buy or Goodbye, a show title that admittedly lacks a bit of subtlety, but that's exactly the question I'm here to answer.
Jonathan Benarr, welcome, my friend.
Alex.
Could you do us just a quick little introduction of yourself so we know your credentials going into this real quick?
Yes. Well, hello. I've been in real estate for over 20 years now, internationally in Asia for the last 12. I used to work for the BBC back in the day when they weren't telling terrible stories about Thailand. And sort of since then, I've sort of developed this philosophy about real estate. I think it should be more accessible. And so... found myself in Thailand trying to sort of change things from the bottom up.
Oh, very nice. Like leading from the front, doing the grunt work, huh?
Exactly that.
So let's dive into this concept. So I've seen the show. It's super fun. I think it's got a almost like a Bourdain vibe with a little bit more professionalism attached to it. It's a fun watch for sure. So can you give us a little bit more about the philosophy behind this show?
Yeah, certainly. So there's a lot of content out there in the real estate space, and a lot of that is influencer driven. Mm-hmm. We're not hearing from the developers directly. We're not hearing from the agents in a way that sort of presents markets and opportunities objectively, right? You know, real estate is not seen as a fun and enjoyable process from an investor point of view.
Right.
It's there's plenty of projects out there. It can be confusing, and so I wanted to try and shine a light on different markets, present an impartial assessment of what's going on in a market for the benefit of everybody. You know, help the developers tell their story, you know, more directly, give investors objective assessments of what's going on in a market, and call it to buy or goodbye, which, as we say in the show, lacks subtlety, but it helps us get to the answer.
Come on, it's clever. I love it. And I think you're right. Like when I watch a show, I think you really did a great job of doing that objectively, because so much of the real estate world, you're right, is the hard sell. They're like really like, oh yeah, pushing it forward. You did take a step back and you had a very fair perspective on everything, and I really appreciated it. As somebody who lives here in Thailand, I know this place very well, and I appreciated your perspective on that and your honesty with it.
Well, thank you. I think real estate is increasingly hard to sell. I think you can certainly explain the benefits of buying it, but you know, it's the whole process is: can I buy? Should I buy? How does my money work? Can I get in? Can I get out? Do I get taxed? You know, that's the stuff we want to know at a macro level before we then start engaging with agents and developers. Does this market make sense for me based on what I want to do with my money and my expectations? And so this starts that process for them so they can eliminate a market or rule it in based on what we've discovered. And then if they do in fact like the market, then we've platformed some of the local experts that they can reach out to, because obviously a big part of this is about building trust for the investors, for the audience, and giving both parties in the sort of in the process just a chance to more effectively communicate the opportunity.
Right, and with a little bit more of a broad appeal. So speaking of which, who is your audience for this kind of show?
Real estate's got international appeal. You know, what's going on in Thailand, what's happening in Bangkok, you know. I mean, the intention is to take this show globally, but it is designed for everyone that's not Thai. You know, wherever you are based, well, wherever you're from, every other country you'd be a foreign investor in. So that means you probably know significantly less about buying there. So it's an infotainment narrative, I think. I mean, you allude to Bourdain earlier. Thank you. We'll speak positively of the dead. But it's a real privilege to sort of have the chance to be the entertaining expert, I suppose. Share what you've learned about a marketplace. Be entirely impartial about it. And it's for developers, it's for agents, it's for investors, it's for travel curious. Real estate's a global asset class. We've got more digital nomads than ever before, and their domestic countries might be very expensive, but maybe there's an opportunity for them to buy and own something for themselves elsewhere. And maybe that's Thailand, or maybe that's Vietnam or Indonesia, the next countries we go to. But eventually this will be a show that's got, you know, a global database of cities and markets for people to dip into.
Right. And that's something that the audience can discover along the way as you build up the backlog and more people find out about you, then they can go back and see the other places you've already been to. But let's talk about Bangkok, I guess. What an amazing place to start, because obviously there's already so much, expat interest in a lot of the Asian countries. A lot of people move here to make a buck or something like that, but then eventually the plan is to move back home. That's not the case with Thailand. People want to live here. Like, that's definitely an attractive aspect of this country. So why Bangkok? You filmed it here, and what has been the response to it so far?
Yeah, well, they're the good questions. I mean, so Bangkok, we can start with a pretty simple starting point. Bangkok is obviously a brilliant place to visit. Is it also a good place to buy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an international expert, but I'm not a local expert. So I parachute in and interview developers and investors and agents to help answer that question. So, right, great. So does Bangkok make sense? It makes a lot of sense as a tourist, but as an investor, let's try and find that out. And the response, I mean, you're right in what you say. I mean, Bangkok has got massive appeal. Some of the investors that I speak to on the show that have got a presence here, I mean, they can't wax lyrical enough about the lifestyle assets of being here. You know, the healthcare, the education, the safety, the culture, the food, all of the big things that combine to make it a vividly appealing and engaging market. And the response has been superb, because it's not supposed to be a Bloomberg report, but I'm not supposed to be some bozo talking superficially about real estate.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of content out there that will talk more superficially. This was supposed to go a few layers beneath to help move the needle more effectively.
Right.
We've not actively promoted it so far, but we're up to about 2,000 views, which is maybe unimpressive for some, but I mean, we're thrilled with that.
Yeah.
And by the time we conclude the mini-series on Thailand and then get the national support from the major authorities that want to see Thailand promoted internationally through a positive prism, it'll exponentially grow from there.
Well, what I like about you, and you have brought up, there are tons of influencers and people that market real estate here, but they're usually directly marketing projects, right? Like it's a hard seller. Like, wow, check out this amazing building, check out this thing, and it's only this price, blah, blah, blah. Like, you are coming in with that much more macro perspective, and you're talking about the market as a whole, right? So you're not really trying to go and, to force it in your face. Like, I know I'm watching a commercial, right? Yes. Like, you're trying to make it an interesting jaunt where you're experiencing the culture and understanding what it actually is, what it's like to live in this place where you could be investing, your future into.
Well, you touch on a good point, because the narrative that we were clear to maintain is it's product placement rather than paid promotions.
Right.
So when we're interviewing developers, it's not as though we're trying to say, hey, these are the best and only developers in Bangkok, but they are a positive representation of what's going on in that market. And so that was certainly a very important narrative trail, but also there's a great saying that I know we've mentioned before, but a rising tide lifts all boats. And that's what this show's supposed to be. It's supposed to raise the Bangkok market together rather than specific developers or pockets or agents. It's the macro overview of what's going on here, and everybody in the industry will benefit from this downstream.
Right.
The more people you can educate about the opportunities, the more likelihood you'll get of finding some more buyers.
Win, win, win. I love it.
Indeed.
Well, so then what does the future of this show look like then? Where are you going? What do you think?
Okay, so we want to do a mini series on Thailand, as mentioned. So we're going to go and do Koh Samui next. So we're looking to film there in December.
A White Lotus vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Less murder.
Fair play.
And then Chiang Mai after that.
Okay.
And so then we'll have a 3-episode mini-series on Thailand.
Nice.
The city, the islands, the jungle. And then we've told, it's not the entire story of Thailand, but it's a reasonably good representation, once again, of what's going on in Thailand. Impartially. I've got no dog in the fight. It doesn't matter to me if anybody comes and buys in Thailand, but there's nothing wrong with shining a light on these markets and giving them a platform that's more editorial than advertorial. And then they've got something that they can use and they can share.
Right.
And it's a resource to be used kind of in perpetuity to help educate people.
A little evergreen. Yeah.
Exactly that. We don't have the same conversation 100 different times.
Right.
So how do you buy in Thailand? Can foreigners own?
Yeah.
How do you get the money on shore? Well, that's all stuff that, you can read it, but we also consume content differently. And so a more engaging video format that helps convey that information to a broader audience. that's sort of kind of where we land.
Yeah, I mean, they can read pamphlets if they like, but you're here to create an experience on the screen.
It's
I
much
think.
more fun to watch video.
It absolutely is, man. I think that's great. So, yeah, anyways, man, I just want to congratulate you because I think it's such an amazing concept. And so far, I mean, obviously the Thaiger team was behind the production, so
Absolutely.
you're working with some of the best. But it came out amazing, and you're such a natural choice to host exactly this kind of show. So, well, yeah, once again, man, congratulations. I can't wait to see where you go to next. And yeah,
Thank you
for coming in.
I'll see you in Samui.
Sounds great. Yeah, Samui, Chiang Mai. And guys, go check it out. To buy or goodbye right now on is that on your YouTube channel,
It's
right?
on the YouTube channel, yes.
Jonathan Benarr.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. We'll send the links in the description below.
Thank you.
Check it out. Thank you, Jonathan.
Cheers, Alex.
Cheers.